Hello everybody, today I'm going to give you my top 6 tips on how to start or improve your business in 2021. Trying to start a business at the end of 2020 or the beginning of 2021 may not necessarily be the easiest thing to do, but there are for sure some things that you can be doing to set up yourself for success and prepare for when things get better. I'm going to walk you through the top 6 things that I can think of based on my experience that you could be doing right now. Step number 1 is to know that you need to be really specific on what you do. Like, people need to know who you are and what you do. I know photographers that do a little bit of everything, and they say that they specialize in food and commercial and portraits and headshots and weddings. And if you do any of those, you know that it's not possible to really specialize on all that. Each of them has specific characteristics that makes it difficult for you to actually be the best at all of them. So one of the best things that you can be doing is start thinking of what is it exactly that you want to be known for. Would you want to be known for being a portrait photographer, or do you want to be known for being a wedding photographer? What is exactly your business? If you're trying to do a little bit of everything, it's going to be very difficult for you to market yourself, and it's going to be very difficult for people to refer you or to know when to come to you. And even when you've already selected what area you're going to shoot, like whether you're going to do weddings or portraits or headshots, you should try to narrow it down. I know different photographers, for instance, that do portraits, but I also know who does child portraits, and I also know who does family portraits, and that just makes it a lot easier for people again to come to you when they have that specific need. And it also makes it a lot easier for you to grow into that specific area, which brings me to step number 2, which is build your style. Now that you know what you're going to be shooting, you need to narrow down your style. If you're going to shoot portraits, are you going to shoot in studio or are you going to shoot outdoors? If you're going to shoot outdoors, are you going to shoot with flash or are you going to shoot with natural light? Do you want your style to be dark and moody, or do you want it to be more light and joyful? Do you want it to profile a location, or do you want it to profile features of people? And so all those things are going to start narrowing down your style, and little by little, those are the things that people are going to like, and then they're going to want to hire you to do exactly the same thing for them. Okay, so up until now, you've put a lot of thought into what you're going to be shooting and how you're going to shoot it. So the next step is to actually build a portfolio for it. Chances are at this point in time, you may have a ton of photos from different things, like flowers and landscapes and like all the things that we all shoot at the beginning, but we need to start building a portfolio that reflects what you want to do. I know that all of you have photos that you like and that you're putting in your portfolio, in your websites, and that's what you're showing to people to show that you have the eye, or that you actually know how to take photos. And that is great, but we need to start working on a body of work that reflects the decisions that we just made, which is what to shoot and how to shoot it. So if you selected children portraits, it's now time to start building a portfolio with those things so that people can actually see how your talents translate into that specific area. That's what they're going to be hiring you for. You can't expect people to hire you for their children portrait because they saw a really nice photo of a flower. You have to be able to show them what the end product could look like so they can actually purchase from you. And I know that the first question that comes to mind is, how can I create a portfolio when I don't have the clients? And that's just a little bit of the what's the first, the chicken or the egg, right? There are multiple ways in which you can create that portfolio. So a couple of them are, and I know this is very polemic, shooting for free. Yes, that is an option. If you're building your portfolio, that is okay. Go and get a few of your friends or family members to let you take those photos so that you can actually put them in your portfolio. You can also create a contest that helps you create a little bit more following on social media, and as people participate on that, they can get one of your sessions. Of course, this takes time, but you have to start working on developing that style and then taking photos on there to see your portfolio. One more thing that you could be doing right now is trying to automate your business. What do I mean by that? Well, as photographers, we spend a lot of time sitting in our office trying to do a lot of business stuff that is not necessarily the same thing as shooting or editing. Sending a contract to a client and trying to get it signed back, or sending an invoice and finding which is the best way for them to pay us, or even just booking a date for a shoot or a consultation. Get a CRM that will allow you to have your clients all in the same place with all the contact information that you need from them, and then create different shoots or different sessions for them within that same platform, and then that way you can keep track of everything in one place. There's obviously a lot of different CRMs out there. There's free ones and paid ones, and there's some that are better for some things and not. There are ones that are specific for photography. There are other ones that are not. That's the topic for a different video, but make sure that you have a CRM where you can have, again, all that information together. Another thing that is important to take care of is invoicing. Maybe it's PayPal that you use. It doesn't have to be super fancy or super specific. Some CRMs may have the capacity to create your invoices and charge for your services, but please make sure that you already have a platform decided so that it's easier for your clients to pay you for your services. This one is the one that is going to have the biggest impact in your business in the long term, and we need to start working on it because it takes time to build. So the easiest way to do this is by putting yourself into your client's shoes. You need to go through the full process and write down every single step on that process so that you can understand where the opportunities to build relationships are. So let me explain. Let's say that you're a portrait photographer. You go onto your website, and we're going to put ourselves into the client's shoes. So you go onto your website, you look for information. We already have a very specific website for portraits. We already have photos in there that reflect the type of portraits that you shoot. And so that makes it a little bit easier for a client to decide or to make a decision on. And then they click on contact us and they send you an email. So what happens next? This is where all the opportunities come. Do you have an auto reply, for instance, saying, "Thank you for connecting with us. We'll get back to you shortly," before you can actually get to them? Something that is immediate, that acknowledges them that you actually got their email. And then what are those next steps that happen after that? So maybe the next step is to book a consultation with you. And so maybe you have an automated system where you can go and click and select different dates, and that makes it easier for you without your attention. You need to be able to do that, again, as we said before, in automatic. Maybe you already had a consultation with the family, and then there's going to be some questions getting closer to the date. So maybe there's an opportunity for you to send an email saying what to wear during the session, or what to do if you have young kids, or what to do if you have a pet, and all those kind of things that are questions that your clients are going to have prior to your session. You got to understand that unless you're super famous, your clients are paying for your services, and they're still a little bit nervous of what could happen in the process, right? Is he really going to be able to pull it off? Or how are the photos going to come? Or is my money going to be worth the end product? Try to reaffirm them that they make the right decision. And a lot of this comes again from not necessarily the photography side, but the relationship side of it. So that process that you mapped out is going to tell you where those gaps are, and then you're going to be able to insert little things in there. Let me give you one more example. So you go and get your mail, and this is mine, right? So I have statements and I have bills. It's still closed. Ideally, if I could, I would not open any of them. I'm gonna have to eventually, but I'm not thrilled about it. But imagine that I just booked a family portrait session, and when I go get the mail, this is what I get. And suddenly there's something in here that stands out. So then that's gonna direct people's attention to that first step. And then when they open it, it's just a "Thank you for booking my services" type of message. It's not a statement, it's not a bill. So in this pile, it makes it stand out, and it makes it easier for people to relate with you in a different level. So the next time that they go get their mail and there's a red envelope, guess which one is the first one that they're gonna open? So go through that process and just look for those gaps and try to get creative in what else could you be doing for people to build that relationship with you. Nobody likes being treated like a number. So if I go to your website and all you're doing is booking the session and then sending me the invoice and the contract and then setting up the date and then you send me the photos, everybody does that. So there's no difference into why would I book you back the next time. So you got to focus on those little things that are going to get people to say, "I liked him." And those little things also get them to talk to other people about you and refer you more. And so again, long-term game, build relationships. This last one may be the most fun out of all of them, is you have to shoot. Now we know what type of style we're shooting though, so we're not taking photos of everything. We're trying to build our portfolio, and so that'll help you narrow down the types of shoots that you're doing. But you need to get familiar with your camera. You need to understand properly how the camera works and how it reacts in different situations. When you're taking photos, you're going to be running into different types of lighting. You need to understand how your tools work, because you don't want to be nervous in front of your client while you're trying to figure out the light or how to connect your flash or anything. Those things need to be easy and they need to be second nature for you. And all of that comes from shooting multiple times and from being exposed to those different situations. So get out and grab, I don't know, it can be your sister or your brother, it can be your husband, it can be your kids. Shoot as much as you can. Now, not all those photos are going to make it to your portfolio, so you know what specific things are going to get there, but you need to be able to, again, just practice with your camera, just go in there and switch modes and everything. That of course means keep learning on how to do better, how to switch from automatic to aperture priority or to manual completely, or how to connect your flash, or how to do all these different type of things that you need to be able to do on the spot when you have a client that is paying you for your services. Okay, I hope you got some value out of all of this. Please let me know if you think there's other things that people could be doing to start their business or improve it. Put that in the comments below. We'd love to read all that kind of thing. If you've already, let me know if you already started your business, or if you're just planning to launch, and what type of business are you trying to do. And so if you have any other questions or any other suggestions for content like this to do, please let me know again in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.